Okay, now it is getting started. Okay, so as you know, this is system development life cycle. There are 4 phases: planning, analysis, design, and implementation. So today the we are going to see the planning part. So, you know, and it is also system request feasibility analysis. Uh, so first question is that how do we select the project? How projects are selected in some organizations? Uh, Various approaches of system development life cycle. There are various methods, you know, waterfall, agile, prototype, and other things. How to select a project methodology based on the characteristics of the project, and become the estimate, familiar to estimate the project related to project. Be able to create project work plan and describe project staffing issues and concern. Describe and apply techniques to coordinate and manage the project, and explain how to manage risk on the project. So these items we are going to cover today. So project selection, creating the project plan, and project management task. So this course also becomes important because you will be doing 482 MISC 482, and 482 is a replicate, performing these tasks yourself. So basically you need to select a project and you will be doing task by yourself. So project selection issues, uh, how to characterize project based on size, based on cost, based on purpose, based on time or length, based on the risk, scope, and economic value. So these are the traits on which you can, select the project. In most of the organizations, there are project, PMO, project management office. They have this, under strategic department, or related to strategic. So that that department or this function takes care of the project. But many organizations are only project based, organization, like large organizations, construction organization, and so on and so forth. However, we are just focusing on system, and many software organization, they or system organization, they just run on the basis of project. Many IT organization in India, they are basically outsourcing organization, and they don't look into all the characteristics. They just look the if they get the project, they will try to address the project in need, and what is there, they can they can quickly form the teams, they can quickly resolve the teams, they can quickly hire the people, they can do all the things. So project selection issues are here. Approval committee uses the system request and the feasibility study. So in the last class we look into the break even analysis, we look into the uh, net present value, and so based on that, that is one of the aspect, economic part. But there are two other feasibilities which are also important: operational and uh, technical, operational and organizational, so related. So that those will be covered also. However, this, since we are just focusing on economic part, let's talk about like economic only, whether it is going to give the return on investment, it is going to give us good value, good benefits. So basically, based on system request and feasibility study, project project portfolio perspective, how does the project fit within the entire portfolio of the projects, including the organization existing projects. So There are three things in project management, program management, and portfolio management. In project, so three things: project, program, and portfolio. What is project? Project an individual project. Program, align, related projects. So these three things are very important. You need to understand: project, program, and portfolio. So many organizations, they have one project. And let's say if you have government project or government system design, any system design, that is not related to only design also. That is also related to implementation, customer train, or citizen training, citizen adaptation. So interrelated projects, which is program entire. So if you have series of projects, they are interrelated to each other, or they are related to one aspect, that is program. And then third is portfolio, which is a combination of project. Trade-offs needed: select projects to from a balanced project portfolio. Viable projects may be rejected or deferred due to project portfolio issues. So many organizations, like there's an organization called Infosys. If you know about Infosys, it's one of the top IT company in India, one of the top outsourcing company. They have a they get every day numbers of projects, but they because they have competency, or they accept or they reject. If that is out of their scope, or they don't pursue. Project portfolio management software, project portfolio management software collects and manage informal about all projects ongoing, awaiting in the approval. So that the if that kind of system that takes care of all the soft projects. Companies stay up to date on projects and adapt to changing conditions. And features are project prioritization, employee allocation, real-time project monitoring, flagging cost, time variance, monitoring economic feasibility, all the things that will be taken care by this system, project portfolio management. Now the third thing is that creating the project plan. So creating the project plan: once a project is approved based on system request and feasibility study, the project manager must select the best project development methodology, develop a project work plan, establish a staffing plan, create ways to coordinate and control the project. So that is the role of a project manager. He should do ahead of everything, which method is going to be adopted, what is the work plan, what is the staffing plan, what is the control and coordinating strategies. So how do we select the methodology? What is the best method in order to do that? So basically, methodology is an approach of implementing system development life cycle, a series of steps to perform and deliverables to produce. So the sources internally developed by organization, everyone is having their own methodology. On organization level, some consulting firms have their, like McKinsey, they have their own model. Software vendors, Gartner, or that what is the name of the company? Uh, I forgot the name, but they have their own way of doing this. So software vendors, they have their own, government agencies. How do we select? These are the factors. What is the requirement of the user? How familiar you are about the technology, how complex is the system complexity, how complex is the system, how system is reliable, time frame and schedule visibility. So structural development, rapid application development, and agile development, these are the three types. Let's see one by one. So structural system development has waterfall, B a parallel, and B model. So in this, assuming a project phase is completed before moving to the next phase, and that you can understand, once you complete the first phase, then only you can move to the second. When you complete the second, you can do the third. So basically this is structural system development. So here you have to do first phase before going into the second phase. So this is highly interdependent on each other, on previous uh, steps. So look into that, waterfall method. So planning is the first phase. Once planning is done, then only you can start the analysis. Once analysis is done, you can go to design. Once design is done, you can do the implementation. And once implementation is done, you get the system. And look into each steps, okay, planning is here, you do the, after planning is done, the analysis, you find any issue, you go back. This is a feedback system. You can see this dotted arrow backside. Once analysis, decide if there is any issue, go back to analysis, if implementation. So this is a waterfall model, 1 2 second, third, 4, move from phase to phase. So it is totally emphasized on deliverables from one phase following into the next phase. So once planning is done, so this is very traditional. It has some strengths, it has some weaknesses. It has strengths in terms of system requirements identified long before construction begins. Requirements are frozen as project proceed, no moving target allowed. So in this, whatever is done, whatever is planned, that is, frozen, and you can't do any in during the project, you can't make changes or things. What is the weakness? Must wait a long time before there's a viable evidence of new system, because you can see only the system when all 4 phases are complete, and it takes long time from start to finish. And this is parallel development methodology. So basically you can divide the project into sub projects here. So parallel development methodology, here you can see planning starts here, analysis starts here. After analysis, design has, let's say, 3 parts are divided into design. One person is doing one module, second person is doing second module, or second team or sub team is doing one module, second module, or third module. So you can see design, implementation, implement, design, implement. So basically they are divided into sub project 1 2 or sub project 3, and then finally integrated to here implementation, and you get the system. What is the importance of this? The reduce overall project time, because you are going to compare to waterfall, because you are going to do 3 sub part of the projects to parallelly, and that takes less time. So creating a sub project requires careful design decisions, and integrating all sub projects is a complex task, complex and difficult. However, most of those organizations, they do this. V model. here you can see analysis, and here this is V method. So analysis, design, implementation, after plan, and then so unit testing, integrated testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. So these are the testing part. After analysis, design, and implementation. Here analysis, acceptance test design, system test design, integration test design, unit test design. So once it is done, you test at unit testing, then you try to integrate, then system testing, and finally at accepting testing. It is like waterfall, but pays more explicit attention on testing. Means you do small testing, bigger testing, and then system testing, and finally acceptance. It emphasis on the quality, system quality throughout the test plan. It has strengths as well as weaknesses. Simple and straightforward. Quality improves throughout the emphasis. Include quality assurance, expertise early in the project. It has weakness. It is rigid, like like waterfall, difficult to use in dynamic business environment. If there is a need of change in between or something in the system, it's difficult. Now, after that, we have rapid application development. Incorporate spatial techniques and tools. It use the computer-aided software engineering, which is case tools, joint application development, which is JET session. So which is most efficient? I'm coming over there. Nowadays agile development is the most popular, which is happening. So Abdul, agile is the one, but we must know, because we are studying, some people use still older method because they find once, but those are very rigid. So agile development in large organization, that is rapid agile based on the requirement. So visual programming languages, code generators, these are the RAD. Get some portion of system development quickly, and the users, and some also use the prototype method. So there are 3 rapid application approaches. Iterative development. So a series of versions developed sequentially. Prototyping, you develop a small model, and then you go for, if you see the success, if you see it is working properly, then you go for the larger thing. So create prototype, a small model or system, and grow it into the final system. Throw away prototyping. Prototype, alternative design is experimental way. Build system following prototypes design, but discard the actual prototype. So this is, you can iterative rapid application development. Here you can see planning, analysis, and it is going after analysis, design, implementation, volume 1, then it is going analysis, design, system version 2, then it is going system version 3. So this is the basically version 1, version 2, version 3. This is development system in a series of versions. Like most of the software, you can see that comes in version 1, version 2, version 3. It has some strength and weaknesses. User get a system to use quickly, and then you can address the rest of the changes in next version. You can keep working on the next phase or next version, third version, fourth version. User identify additional needs for later versions based on real experience with current version. It has some weaknesses. User faced with using an incomplete system for a time. User must be patient and wait for full functional system. This is a prototyping, rapid application development, planning, analysis, design, implementation. Then you get a system model or prototype, implement, and then you get the system. So basically, create rough version system quickly and grow it into the final system with repetitive refinement. It has strength and weaknesses. User get to work with prototype very quickly. Feedback cycle let user identify changes and refine real requirements. It has some weaknesses. A superficial analysis may be a problematic. Initial design decision may be poor. Overlooked features may be hard to add later. So if you neglect or overlooked, that will be hard to throw away prototype, rapid application development. So planning analysis, here you design the prototype, then design implement system. So basically, this is another, it has again strength and weakness. Uncertainty is minimized. Important issues are understood before building the final system. May take longer compared to system prototype. Agile development methodology. So this is the third, type. Here, planning, analysis, design, implementation, then you get the system, and then again you go to analysis, design, and keep doing. So it is basically a programming centric. Here we use extreme programming, scrums, and other. Focus on short cycles that produce a complete software product. High adaptability in dynamic environment. So this is the, as I said, Abdul, this is the widely used method. So fast delivery of results, work well in projects with undefined or changing requirements. So what is the strength? In other methods that we have already covered, you have to have complete requirements upfront, means right at the beginning. Suppose in case you forget to do everything upfront and you got to know while developing the system, okay, this requirement must be addressed in the system. We don't have, or we have a big issues in previous methods. Here you can add ongoing changes can be addressed here in this requirement, and which is normally there nowadays, because the customer perception, customer requirements changes like anything. Therefore, whenever you see the requirement, every week they have the client meeting, and this is my personal experience, because India is known for outsourcing, India is known for system. All the people, top system or program manager or project manager, they wake up whole night in order to talk to the customer. They show them, okay, we have done this thing, this is working, how this, and they get some additional, if we can do this thing, it will be more appropriate. So every other week they get the some changes, or requirements or additional requirements. So this methodology perfectly address all those things. Requires experience and discipline. Significant user involvement is essential. Therefore, I say initial high learning curve of new tools and techniques work best in smaller projects. So this is, and selection summary, how you can select: waterfall, parallel, B model, iterative, agile, all these methods are there. Which unclear user with unclear user requirement, with familiar technology that are complex, that are reliable, with a short schedule and schedule visibility. So basically, here you can do the selection summary, which you can do like this. Which method is good, and based on the requirement, you can select the method for your system development. So basically, how you know if first thing, unclear user requirement. In unclear user requirement, what is happening in the last agile development? User meet every other day or every week or every period, and they just see the development of progress, and they give the feedback, and you incorporate and keep doing. So we did one project like this, and every other day we used to have a government meeting, uh, and then it works perfectly, this agile development. So based on that, you can look into the, based on these features, you can come to the conclusion which one you are going to select. Project estimation, how you can estimate based on different. The process of assigning project values of time and effort. Methodology in use, actual previous project, experienced developers. So estimates begin as a range and become more specific as the project progress. Industry standards, functional point estimate of system size, effort required, time required. We are going to talk, so based on all this, we have to consider in order to, so look into the industry standard percentages. So planning is 15%, analysis is 20%, 35 is design and implementation. So typically industry standards in all 4 phases divided into this. Estimated based on actual figure of first stage of SDLC. Actual is 4, estimated is 5.33, estimated. And so basically look into this. Estimated based on actual figures of first stage, 15% into 4, where X is overall length of the project. So 15%, so 4. So what is the X? 4 divided by 15%. And X equal to 26.66 months for entire project. So this is the method, So therefore planning is, let's say, 4 months. Analysis is 20%, which is 5.33 months. Design is 9.33 months. Implementation is 8 months. So total project length is, based on this example, 26.66 months. So this is 4 months you can estimate based on your experience. Then you can identifying the task. You can have, there are industry manuals, there are organization manuals which have different. Use established guideline, existing methodology, use analogies, previous project task list that you can refer, that you can use. Normally we use top-down approach, break high-level task into smaller, into detail, and go into the deep, and organize into the work breakdown structure. So here, project work plan, look into that. And I would, let you know on Microsoft project also. For example, task ID, first is design phase. Under design phase, we have development database design. Under design phase, this is first, development database design document. first 1.2 is developing rejects handling design document. 1.3 development of OLAP design document. 1.4 is development OLAP design part 1. 1.5 is development this. Under these, each of them, we have staging database design. Under this, we have, suppose that, under development data design, we have two subtasks. So basically you can break down design into, five parts, and then each part will have sub part. So who will be doing this? Assigned to assigned to Megan, Kevin, or XYZ. Total duration of each activity, design phase total take 31 days. But here, all the activities, since they are will doing parallelly, how it will take each activity, start date, finish date, and status, whether this is done or not done. So we will be doing this using our, you will, you have any experience of working on Microsoft project? Because this is the most important software that you can have for project management. Any experience of Microsoft project? Let me show you. I have on my computer project and a project here. This is my question to everyone in the class. Okay, you don't have. I will let you know. So basically this is a Microsoft project. If you can see here, you can start with blank project here, and here you can also say we have options under this. So under options, let's say you can start with display. You can use a symbol as a currency, US dollar. You can estimate the project cost in any currency that you can fix, by default being in USA. But if you are in, let's say, Saudi Riyal, you want to do, you can do that. Let's say you want to do pound sterling or Indian rupees, all the currencies are there. The date format, you can see, you can do that, starting every day, what time your work starts, every day at what time the work done. So basically default starting time 8 a.m, end time 5 p.m. But if suppose you are working in system analysis and design, or so system development in India, their work starts at evening 6 o'clock, and that ends at morning 5 o'clock. And that is the schedule of Indian, so they do this way. Per hours, they have unlimited time, 40 hours are not days per month. So based on that, you can also you can estimate the hourly cost. And that I can, in later class, I can also explain this. Okay. So you can set the language and other things, you can do that. But we are, and here you can do the manually schedule or automatically schedule. So basically, let's say I'm just going to do one thing, which is design. Under design, we have 5 items. Let's say whatever, design part 1, design 1. Under design 1, we have, let's say, and we can do many things. So probably, I will explain this in coming class in detail with, with proper example, because this is going to be one of the best tool for your any system or any project planning and scheduling and monitoring and everything. So for example, here I don't design. Here I can do design too. And let me do here how many days. I need 10 days, or I need 10 hours. Here I need for design to 9 days, and that can start after, let's say, 6, or it can go till what time, let's say this is the time. So you can see on the right hand side, the this is automatically, uh, and here you can say, for example, I'm just going to erase these things. So here, system planning and analysis, design and implementation. So these are the 4 phases. Suppose this is taking 10 days, this is also taking 10 days, this is also taking 10 days, and this is also taking 10 days. Okay, now look into that. How, when I can start analysis? When my planning phase is done in traditional. So I can do procedures, select predecessors. So here this is, I can do the second is based on the planning part. So, and the design part I can do based on analysis part when analysis is done, and this will be done based on design part. Then only these things can be. So you can see the this, look into this first part here on my right side on my dashboard. Here, this you can see, this is the planning phase. Once it is done, then the second phase will start. The second phase is done, then third is start. And you can also allocate resource here. For example, who will be responsible of person here? I can do the planning. Who is the resources? Who are the people? How much resources? And you can put all the information here. So here you can see name planning, and you can do, you can procedures, no, task name, who will be doing this task, what resources are needed, how much cost is there, who is the assignment owner, let's say Mr. XYZ. And you can do all thing in this. So this is one of the best tool for project management. And basically many calculations, that is earned value analysis in Microsoft project, or in project management, that you can look into that. So here all these things you can properly plan on Microsoft project here. So we can do all this in next class. I will demonstrate with a small project so that you can learn this methodology, or you can start learning project. It is right there on our virtual lab in Eastern. So Eastern has this tool. Stop considering after this. Match skills to project needs whenever possible. Consider technical skills and interpersonal skills. All information system work is done in teams. Technical skills are not sufficient. You need to able to work with others. So basically, technical teamwork is very important in information system, because information system projects are not done alone. Hundreds of thousands of lines or codings, or program integration, all. So basically it is done in teams. Use training and outside sources when skills are not readily available. So staffing levels will change over a project lifetime. Adding staff add overhead, not always productive. So it is always there that you need to work in a team. You can't develop a big system by yourself. And this is my experience working with two CIO level people in India. I guided their PhD, and they have a wide experience. They were from Infosys, vice president people, and they have 5,000 people of team. How many people? 5,000. So motivation, use monetary reward, use intrinsic rewards, recognition, achievement, work, all kind of rewards that can motivate them, being part of your team, being, uh, in the project. Consider demotivators not to do. So basically, these are all management: assign unrealistic deadlines, ignore good efforts, accept. So basically, you don't need to do all these things. Uh, so basically, you need to have this motivation aspect. Assuring group performance makes your team understand the project and its goal. Establish operating procedure. This is called project charter, and we have a project management, which is the next class, next 482, that will cover project charter. So what we can do in project charter? Project charter is kind of project plan which has everything you know choke out or jot down over there. Everything is there. How availability, status reporting, meeting, who will report to whom, everything is noted down in that. So that is a project charter. Ensure that team members get to know each other. Establish method for dealing with problems. And the third part in this is project management task. So project management task: preparing to launch the project. So project manager balancing. Project management involves making trade-offs. Modifying one elements require adjusting the others. Project size, project time, project cost. These are the very important thing, and these are the risk factor also. If you are not able to do properly, the cost will increase, time will increase, the size you cannot understand. So look into the estimates required, refinement. Even project with high quality estimates will need refinement, with the time. Project manager must adjust estimated time throughout the project. And how you can check this, I will demonstrate you in the next class. Planning phase: system request, project plan, deliverables. This is system request, cost is 400, project plan is 100, schedule time is 60%, 25, analysis phase 50, schedule time 15, design phase is system specification 2500. So look into that. Percent of cost and percent of cost and time is given right here. And now look into that. Even projects with so this can adjust with time as you go on in the project. Suppose you are 3 months ahead, after project, these may change. It will not remain, because certainly, if you are very good efficient team, this will not be uh, you know even this will not be same. It is highly, only less than 1% they work as per the schedule and time. Beware of scope creep, means new requirements added after the original project scope was defined. So that is always there by customer, by stakeholders. Use JAD and prototype to minimize scope creep. Implement formal change approval process. So basically have the the contract ready right at the beginning. Formal change approval process through uh, so that you can include, if there's a scope creep, you can add some more money, you can add more time, you can take more leverage. defer additional requirement as future system enhancement. Time boxing. So time estimate techniques may reveal that project require more time than we have available. So this is always there. Set the tight but realistic deadline. Identify core essential functional requirement. Team limits its focus just to essential function, high quality. So basically time requirement always there, when a target date is missed, don't assume you can catch up. The only situation in which you can make up time is when the remainder of the project is simpler than the part you fell behind on. So basically, if you miss the deadline, if you miss the timeline, basically you are running out of, you will be late. However, in the case you have a simpler task ahead, you can catch up. The remainder of the project is simpler than you expected when the original estimates were made. In these cases, you can make up. Otherwise, you are going to fall behind. Evaluate the complexity of remainder of the project to determine the correct schedule adjustment. Adding people is not always the right way to handle. You don't need to add, unnecessary manpower in order to handle this. So this is the chapter number 2. And this is the chapter. Assignment is posted right there, a mini case that you need to do. I have 2-3 small things that I wanted to share. Just a minute. And so this is the assignment. Look into this, and the sample is already given. Do you have, everyone is having the book, I believe. So this is the question that has been asked in this week assignment, but I would also request you to do or look into the Microsoft project. This is also important to understand few charts. Function point, Gantt chart, PERT chart. These are very important charts in system development or project management, basically. So functional point were defined in 1979 in measuring application development productivity by Allen at IBM. So the function point is a unit of measurement to express the amount of business functionality as information system provides to user. The size of the new system, the effort required to complete the system, the time required for the project. So this is what? Time, size, effort, and time. Person per month, function point, and lines of code. So basically these are the 3 things when you do the information system. How many, basically how do we charge, or how the big companies charge from their clients? How, code of lines, how many codes are there? For example, 2 million codes are there, or 2 million lines of codes are there for any new system development. So basically they will charge based on lines of code and manpower, and they will estimate about the line of codes, how many people will do in how much time. So basically that is kind of prediction. Or component are listed on worksheet to represent the major element of the system. Data entry screens are kinds of input output. Queries are database queries. The project manager record the total number of each component, breakdown number to show low, medium, and a high complexity. Look into this functional point of view. For example, there are 19 outputs that needed to be developed for the system, 4 of which have low complexity, 10 that have medium, and 5 are very high complex. So look into the input, output, 19 output. How many 4 are of low? 4 are of low, 10 are of medium, and 5 is of uh, very high complex. How many queries? 10. Total number is 10, 7, 0, 3. How many files? These. So this is the way in order to total adjusted functional point. So basically, such kind of requirement is there. So high, medium, low, based on input, output, queries, files, you can list down all the description. So this is functional point. The next is GANTT chart. GANTT chart is, was developed by Charles GANTT. And actually my first organization, first university where I worked, he was a professor at there, Stevens Institute of Technology. And this is a very simple technique, and you can understand. I will demonstrate through project. Design phase, this is a chart. You can see this line, these lines here. And for example, this you can see on my Microsoft, this is called Gantt chart. This is done. So representation of timeline using line, where is the, this is who will be doing. So this is called Gantt chart, and you must have this in order to understand how much time is required, which activity will be followed by which activity, or which task will be followed by which task. So this is, and the third is PERT, path evaluation and review technique, or program evaluation and review technique. So charts were developed and introduced in 1950 by US Navy. They were developed to manage large projects which had complex tasks and very high inter task. So inter-task dependency, and basically they can be done in terms of network, branches and network. So look into this. Performance system analysis, this start on that day. Identify requirement, performance system design, development system, perform integrated testing, deploy, and look into the, this is analysis, design, build, testing, maintenance. So, or it can be done in this way also. Interview stakeholder, administrative, and here you can see these are the different tasks. How you can do, which task has, which task to be followed by which previous task. Based on such thing, the part can be made. So for example, the difference between Gantt chart and PERT charts, Gantt chart deals with sequence of project tasks, whereas PERT manages large and complex projects. Gantt focus on time requirement to complete a task. PERT focus on inter-task relationship. It has linear, and PERT has a flow chart, has parallel network activities. So use a PERT chart to show the dependency between the project tasks given in this Gantt chart. So basically you can look into this. This is Gantt chart. This is a plan project, then determine requirements, and you can see which activity and how they are going. Here you can see the part. A, first activity is A, and then you can break down into two parallel activities, B and C, and then you can merge B and C into D, then E, F, G, H, I. So this is a PERT chart, and this is Gantt chart. So these are very important whenever you do whenever you do any projects, these are the basic items that we need. Gantt chart, PERT chart, functional requirement, and so this is this week my lecture. And if you have any question, please let me know.
I have a question about the function points chart.
Yeah.
How do you know which number to use for the ones that are like circled in red for the second number?
Normally it is given in the question, or it is industry practices. So let's go. So here you can see normally it is given in the manual or based on industry practices. So here we have, for example, we just considering 3, 4, 6. These are given here, or this is based on industry practices, or is if you have a question you get this. So let's say I'm going to give you the, so here you can say 1, 2 medium, 1 is high, output is 4 medium. Queries here assume that an adjusted project complexity factor is 1.2 in is appropriate for the so here Tom, Jam, and so this is the assignment basically that you have to do this week. And just a minute. And I I have to look into the book, because so it is clearly given in the book.
So for that second number, are you going to like multiply, like for example, like the input 3 times 3 for like the first number, you'll use the one given in the question, and then are you going to multiply by 1.2?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically if this is a 3, you are going to multiply 1.2, which is given in the question. Sorry.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, complexity factor is 1.2, which is normally is 1, so this is 1.2 times higher than normal. So that you can multiply and you can get this number. So do you have the book? You have the book, because all the examples, everything I'm just covering from the book, and they have everything written there. And I think somebody has already shared, but that is again the issue of copyright and other things. So I don't want to discuss about that, but you can have the book if you wish, because I think I have seen at many websites or many places the PDF file of the book is available. But you can, what I believe you will have the book and everything. Just let me start a book in a minute.
It's also only like $30 on Vital Source.
Yeah, so Vital, so sometimes I don't feel reading on screen, because my, so if you yeah, that is, even Wiley is selling in $30. So if you have a book, you can go one by one, you practice those things. And next week we are going to work on Microsoft project. I'm going to also explain some project management examples, because 4822 that will be helpful for you in next course, which is MISC 482. With that I will teach also. So if you have any other question, please let me know.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I will, I will post this. Where is that? So what I'm going to do, I'm just recording, and I will post right here, after this. In module 2, right after that, I will post the. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Have a good night.
You
So I
too.
do have a quick question.
Yes, please.
Would it be possible if I can get an extension for this assignment? Just because I am getting married this weekend.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
are getting close. Thank you. And as the days are getting close, we are going to be really busy for the next couple of days.
No problem, my dear friend. For this, occasion, I would like to extend, take your time, do, the best thing of your life, and let me know when you want to do it, So you can send me an email. You take your time. And many, many congratulations from
Thank you.
my side and from our class side. And, have a happy and, happy and healthy married life.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I also have a question, Professor.
Yes, please.
I'm not sure what's your policy, but would you review or pass assignments if we have
You want me,
mistakes or how to improve, or I just want to know feedback, how I did or how to improve it.
so what you want, I can do both the things. If you want me to review right now, I can do that. Or you want me to post the solution, that I can do that. And you want to, to be honest, I don't know what is the policy other professors usually adopted. So I can go with your, inputs. I can follow. Do you want or do you want me to give you feedback and
Do you
how?
post the solution in
Yeah,
Canvas?
I can do that.
Yeah, if that would be great. That way I can compare what did I do right or wrong, or
Yeah,
so.
I can. I will do that. Let me.
And yeah, and if I have a question, I know you have a session on Thursdays. So if you remember, I am not available on Thursdays. So do you have another way that I can reach you if I have a question?
Yeah. We can. One thing, if the question is very straightforward, post on Canvas. Canvas, send me through this Canvas
Inbox.
inbox.
Okay.
Or if suppose you are not understanding anything that is a complex something, let's mutually agree on the time we can come together online.
Okay.
Using Zoom, when you are available, when I am available, and we can work one-to-one.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other question? If you don't have, okay, I would like to say bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Thank
And
you too.
on Thursday, I will be available around 2:15 to 3 o'clock. Whoever wants to come in the common room, most welcome. I will share the link of Thursday class. Okay.
Have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye. Have a nice productive week ahead.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.